Nobody.
Well, I'm pulling you over, nobody, because you're speeding. Ease up on the throttle.
Okay, good night. Have sweet dreams. Goodbye.
I mean, he was so much fun to be around. And when Michael was born, Evan was thrilled. He finally had a playmate. They were roommates, and he adored Michael.
Hi, it's me, Evan. That's my little brother, and that's my mom.
And what are they doing?
My mom's trying to talk to somebody. Michael's just stuck in our pacifier. I couldn't take him out because that was too hard to open.
Okay, what's Michael saying?
He's saying that I want to get that dog. That's what he's saying.
Okay, Evan, you want to film now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's formula. There's a green shirt. Guess who? It's Daddy. 4 eyes. Oh, there's inside the toilet. And there's under the bed. Let's go see. We see red gloves. We see some socks. Ready?
I'm ready. Okay, action. He learned how to read very quickly. He loved books. He loved talking about what he was reading. And he was a great companion, when you were doing something, going on a trip. He was a guy who was, good for an adventure.
Hard. I know, it's working. I know, it's tough. And Evan. You're going to get the boat. It's a big one. Beautiful. Let's see the triumphant fisherman. Yes. Nicholas. Hey. What do you think, Evan? Yeah. When Evan went through a mood swing, his whole body changed. His face changed, his physical attitude changed, his ability to communicate changed. And you literally saw it in his face. He became unreachable. Hart and I started to call it the fugue state. He sort of got like this. The physical change would be like a slackening of his face. It just wasn't engaged. Something receded. And what you had was this kind of thing, this facade.
Some whales are real curious. They come right up to the boat. Some whales turn the other cheek and leave, essentially.
There was a tone of voice that went along with it, too. A very flat tone of voice.
Where'd you see the whale?
Yeah, it's not supposed to happen.
Pretty exciting seeing the side of the whale, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Well, they weren't flying.
He could be very sullen.
Yeah. Oh, what do you mean?
You happy for,
Yeah, I am. 5.
5?
This is a 6.
This is pretty exciting for,
He definitely acted like a teenager at a very young age.
You hungry?
Yeah, I want a peanut butter sandwich. God's in control.
What did you say?
God.
No, that's not nice. He seemed to have skipped being a kid and gone immediately to being a adolescent. How was the football game yesterday? What?
Don't say this at home, kids.
So? What?
I got a rifle.
You got a rifle?
Yeah,
What do you need a rifle for?
to shoot you.
There were a lot of times where he would tell me specifically what he was going to do. He was going to jump out the window, he was going to jump off a building, he was going to cut himself, or in this particular occasion, he was going to hang himself. He took this pillow thing with a strap on it and climbed up on his bunk bed, and he affixed it up there. And then he put it around his neck, and he showed me how he was gonna jump off the bunk bed. He's gonna show Mom how he's gonna hang himself right in front of her. And I didn't let him. But I'm tired of trying to explain to people what I'm hearing at home, and I'm just gonna record this. I always felt so guilty about taking those pictures. But I was so tired of explaining to people my son wants to kill himself.
She was my hour. Absolute power.
He did not have a Britney Spears phase. He did not have a Backstreet Boys phase. He went straight to Dylan, Neil Young, Nirvana, and he wrote a lot of songs.
Should have been, could have been, would have been dead if I didn't get the message going on in my head. You asked me how, I told you. You said, wow, take it now since you learned it, that how.
His lyrics touched on things that you can't imagine a kid that young would even think about.
You would think it's all a freeze. If I could be cutting myself on the neck, threatening you with my knife, saying you're gonna die tonight. Stop! Well, that's because I'm depressed, nothing less, curious, furious. So somebody kill me, please. I'm standing on my knees. Somebody kill me, please. Pretty, pretty, please. I'm standing on my knees.
It's biscuit.
It's because I'm depressed. Okay, that's it.
When he was maybe 8 or 9, he kept a journal, and I saw it and took it out and started reading it, and there were these poems in it essentially saying, I'm prepared for death, I'm not afraid of death, these really deep poems. And I was probably 15, 16 and going through my moody phase, and I remember thinking, wow, these are thoughts I'm having right now. I felt there was something really powerful going on in his mind, that he had a sensitivity, a maturity that was way beyond his years.
The fall semester of 2000, when Evan was in 5th grade, he communicated to the principal of his school that he felt suicidal. We get a letter, and of course, you know, I suggest a psychological evaluation. Well, I'm already in.
The night he died, I came over for dinner. It was a Sunday evening. We're all eating together, and I know Evan had some homework that was unfinished, and he was being a little obnoxious about not wanting to do his homework and started putting his feet on the table, and, you know, his mom was nagging him about his homework.
And they had a tiff, and he was mad.
The fight was very intense, as it often was, and, you know, really just deeply intense. I was doing the dishes, and I was hot, you know? I was tired of this. And he goes up the stairs, and he said, Mom, I hate you.
And he shuts the door, he locks it.
Leaving that night, I didn't think anything of it. He wasn't behaving in any way that would make me think this child is going to end his life tonight. Not in a million years. I mean, on my good days, I've acted worse than him at dinner.
By this time it was around 10 o'clock, and I went into our bedroom with Mikey, and we were both reading. Just reading for a little bit, and I go to check in on Evan, and he's unlocked the door. I go in, he's sitting in his underwear on his bed with his computer. And, you know, I came over and I said, well, how you doing? What's happening? And he said, I'm fine, Dad, I'm doing my homework. At his computer, it looked as though he was doing his homework. So I go back to read with Mikey for another 5 minutes, and you know, it's Mikey's bedtime. So I bring Mikey into the room, and Evan's not there. I immediately thought that he had jumped out the window. But it was an air shaft, so you couldn't really see anything. Mikey shows up with this little pen light, and I shine it down the shaft, and I think I see something, but it's hard to tell. And I'm starting to, feel pretty concerned at this point, and I run downstairs to find the super, who had access to the air shaft.
I guess I was downstairs and about to recline and watch TV, and I was half asleep, I guess. And nothing unusual, I just heard a noise. And I thought nothing of it. I thought maybe the girl upstairs dropped something. Nothing. And I guess, I don't know how many minutes later, somebody came was banging on my door.
We were with Roger, we had the light. I had a cell phone and keys, and we went through this labyrinth some kind of way, and Hart got there first, and Evan was there, and he was on his back, and there was blood.
I thought he might be alive, but I felt his pulse, and he wasn't.
I was screaming, Evan, 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 Evan. Evan, please. And I went, and Hart was in front of me, and I said, get out of the way, I want to give him the mouth to mouth, I want to move away. And he said, Jay, just go, the paramedics are coming, go upstairs, take care of Michael, take care of him, it's okay. And he was very calm.
I called Nick to come and look after Mikey and Dana, because I had to go to the hospital with Evan.
I was there comforting Michael, and we were praying, and I thought maybe he'll live. Maybe he's just broken some bones, and maybe he'll live. And at some point, I don't know when, but Nick showed up.
We pulled up in front of the house. There were police cars outside. It was like, this is fucking real. This is real. And I walked into the apartment, and there were police officers downstairs. They looked at me and started approaching me to say, who are you? And I pushed them out of the way and just ran to Dana.
And Michael was so amazing because he kept saying, Mommy's gonna be okay, Mommy's gonna be okay, Mommy's gonna be okay, Mommy's gonna be okay. And we're just holding each other, and then, and then Hart called, and I just knew immediately what happened, that he was dead. I just couldn't believe it. So then Gene drove me to the hospital, and he was at St. Vincent's where he had been before. And I was taken into the room where he was on the stretcher. And he wasn't cold, and he had his boxer shorts on. And he took the sheet down like this. I held him, and I closed his eyes. And that's it. And then I got a call in the car from Nick. It said, I found his note. I found his note.
I remember the officers asking me whether there was a suicide note, and I hadn't even thought about that, and we looked around his room and there was nothing, and then he pointed to the computer and opened it, touched the screen, and sure enough, a letter came up.